What if Earth lost oxygen for just 5 seconds? Fires would die, engines would fail, planes could stall mid-air. You wouldn't suffocate, but the planet would still break. Here's what really happens when oxygen disappears. Oxygen is more than just air. It's the invisible shield that keeps life alive. Without it, humans, animals, and even plants would immediately face a deadly crisis. If the Earth lost oxygen for just 5 seconds, humans wouldn't instantly suffocate, but the consequences would be immediate and dramatic. Metals, liquids, and even the atmosphere would react differently. Flames would die out instantly, combustion engines would fail, and electronics might spark due to sudden chemical changes. Oceans and lakes wouldn't evaporate instantly, but marine life would face oxygen deprivation in microseconds. Human reactions. From panic to chaos. If oxygen disappeared for 5 seconds, humans would experience sudden physiological stress. Our bodies store very little oxygen, so even a brief absence affects the brain and vital organs. People might feel dizziness, faintness, or disorientation. Panic would spread instantly, causing accidents, crashes, and chaos in crowded areas. Airplanes, cars, and trains relying on combustion engines or oxygen systems would fail momentarily, risking massive accidents. Even breathing in now oxygen-depleted air would cause an unconscious struggle for survival. Though 5 seconds seems short, the global impact on infrastructure, transportation, and public safety would be massive. The skies turn deadly. In a world without oxygen, the sky would behave strangely. Oxygen makes up about 21% of the atmosphere, supporting combustion and many chemical reactions. Without it, fires would instantly extinguish, jet engines would fail, and any chemical reactions in the air could become unstable. Lightning strikes might become unpredictable, as oxygen plays a role in electrical conductivity in storms. Even clouds and weather patterns could temporarily change because oxygen interacts with other atmospheric gases. For birds, insects, and flying mammals, these 5 seconds would be critical. They rely on continuous oxygen supply for flight and survival. Oceans and aquatic life in peril water holds dissolved oxygen critical for aquatic life. If oxygen vanished, fish and marine organisms would experience immediate oxygen deprivation. Even though water itself wouldn't disappear, creatures relying on dissolved oxygen would struggle in the first few seconds. Microorganisms, plankton, and other oceanic life forms could die if the absence persisted longer. While 5 seconds seems brief, the shockwave of oxygen loss would ripple through ecosystems, creating a chain reaction in food webs. Sharks, dolphins, and other high-metabolism animals would be affected first, demonstrating how delicate marine environments are. Structural and chemical chaos. Oxygen is involved in countless chemical reactions on Earth. Metals oxidize in the air, fires burn, and even our bodies rely on oxidative metabolism. If oxygen vanished for 5 seconds, explosions and chemical reactions might halt instantly, affecting industries, power plants, and laboratories. Combustion engines in cars, planes, and power generators would fail, potentially causing global blackouts. Buildings and infrastructure reliant on fire suppression, heating, or chemical processes could face sudden instability. This tiny gap in oxygen supply would demonstrate just how deeply it's embedded in modern civilization. Gravity and physical impacts. While gravity itself wouldn't vanish, oxygen contributes to atmospheric pressure. A sudden loss would create a tiny but powerful shift in air density. Windows, glass, and pressurized systems might experience minor implosions or cracks. High-altitude aircraft and spacecraft, which rely on pressurized oxygen systems, would be immediately at risk. Even humans at sea level might experience subtle physical sensations, such as a brief lightness or pressure change in the chest. These 5 seconds would be long enough to trigger panic, accidents, and global infrastructure disruption. Wildlife reactions to a sudden vacuum. Animals would be the first to react instinctively. Birds might drop from the sky, insects could lose flight stability, and mammals might experience confusion or rapid stress. Oxygen deprivation in 5 seconds could trigger survival instincts, panic, and erratic behavior. Herds and flocks might scatter, causing accidents and ecological disturbances. Aquatic animals would struggle in oxygen-poor water, while land animals would feel physiological shock. Even plants, though slower to respond, rely on oxygen for cellular respiration in roots and leaves. Electrical and technological failures. Oxygen plays a key role in electrical systems and combustion engines. During a sudden disappearance, power grids might fail, generators stop, and electronics exposed to sparks could malfunction. Combustion engines, airplanes, and vehicles could stall mid-operation, causing accidents worldwide. Even small sparks in laboratories or factories could behave unpredictably. This brief oxygen loss demonstrates our total reliance on it, not just to breathe, but to power the technology keeping civilization running. Modern life is intricately linked to the invisible chemistry of air. The aftermath, chaos and recovery. Once oxygen returns, the immediate threat of death recedes, but the aftermath would be catastrophic. Fires could reignite unpredictably, infrastructure may be damaged, and human panic might have caused global accidents. Technology would need rebooting, ecosystems would struggle briefly, and animals may have permanent stress effects. The shock would reveal the hidden vulnerability of humans and nature alike. 5 seconds is enough to create a momentary apocalypse, the shocking reality. This thought experiment highlights how essential oxygen is, not just for breathing, but for every process on Earth. From biological systems to technology, from oceans to the sky, oxygen is a silent protector. Losing it for 5 seconds would trigger chaos across every corner of the planet. Though the idea seems almost science fiction, it reminds us of our fragility and dependence on Earth's balance. Oxygen may be invisible, but its role is foundational. Appreciating this gas can make us rethink how delicate our planet truly is. Nature's equilibrium is fragile, and even a brief disruption can have dramatic consequences. If 5 seconds can do this much damage, imagine what longer disruptions could do. Like, subscribe and stay curious, because reality is more fragile than we think.